This game has better jump scares than all the horror games I played in 2025. Oh yeah.
I got him for you, Anderson.
Where is he?
Ammo waiting.
Look at the water. It's this fucking ocean. It's not a lake anymore. Okay. I do have a very, very dangerous shotgun. Ah. First, I don't know. Let's go. Oh shit. Let's not. Ah. I hate this. Like, they made it like when you're falling, then like your ears start ringing and everything gets distorted. I mean, would you like some... Oh, what the hell? Danny, stop. You are not allowed. You're legally not allowed to get back at me like this. Okay, that's not cool. It's not cool at all. Oh my god. Imagine that people wanting revenge nowadays. I started this. I didn't start it, and shut up, Alasters. Nobody asked you. Go away. No, please stay. I need you. Oh wait, it wasn't Alasters. It was Danny. Oh, I would never tell Danny to shut up. I'm taking it back. Shut up, Alasters. Because I said so. Anyway, field research on this entity. His barrier. Fucking hell, Danny. It got me. That was a good one. It was a good one. Oh no, not the chickens. I don't trust you guys. I'm sorry. I hate this. I hated these chickens, man. They were kicking my ass. I remember this clip well. Oh, so the chickens are fine, but the roosters are aggressive. I will be good to know. Streaming shortly. I just need to boot up a game and a couple of more things. They have ducks. They have ducks. Look. So I'm doing it while the ads are rolling and stuff.
The animals had.
Yeah, someone should clip this and we send it to Trunk.
Honestly,
we are saving his skin. So this gun sucks. I thought I modded it good, but it doesn't do any damage. Look at this. If I just swap to my pistol, oh, never mind. Down. God damn it. Open up. No enemies. Okay, we are going to the sewers. Like the proper socialist sewers. Because of course we do. Wait, what's this? Oh, we can... Oh, I got my semi-skimmed milk. And I also have some mines. So I'm going to save. Just to be sure. And now we can go to the sewers. Oh. Is he going to... Maybe he's gonna explode. Hello, are you okay, sir? You seem to be on fire. Is everything fine? Oh my... We're gonna build it right. The structure is unstable. Dude, you are unstable. Shut up. This pirate game, I'm so looking forward to it, guys. Like, you can't understand. Like, I am looking for it so much. Hello, Denny. How are you doing? How are you all doing? We are playing a new game. The demo to 1348 EX VOTO is out. And this game struck huge controversy, as it is like they proclaim they're like realistic game, but they also have like female lesbian knight who is like trying to save her lover who is a woman. So naturally, a lot of people weren't happy about that. And then there is another game coming out that is called Knight's Path. This is who said like we don't care about LGBTQ agendas. We just want to make good games, which also strike a controversy. And now, two radical extremities like woke and anti-woke people, they are clashing each other on Twitter and they are hating on these games or like promoting these games for no reason. So it's going to be fun. What I'm interested in is the swords and like sword fighting and everything. So yeah. This is what we're going to do. So, yeah, lovely morning to you all, my American friends. We are going to be playing 1348 EX VOTO. 1348 is like, it's like even like 15 years before Events of Kingdom Come Deliverance, the game. So it's like even more Dark Ages. So I'm gonna see. Didn't even try if the demo works. So if it's not working, then it's going to be a little bit of faux pas. I was just going to be playing something else. But yeah, I don't care about the controversies. I don't give a damn what like my character has in her pants or who she's gonna love or not love. What I care about is how they manage to do the sword fighting. That's what I care about. Okay. So the game is called, once again, 1348 EX VOTO, and they proclaim they are like. Hang on. I have a cat situation. He's being absolutely unreasonable. Can I please? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, the menu is pretty nice. Now I'm gonna say straight from the get-go, all right, that this game they said like, yep, we are. Okay, let's enable synchronization. That's fine. You know, unlimited frame rates and it run like 64, so I guess the game is going to be chunker. I wonder how my rig is going to like fight with it. Audio, let's tone down master to like 6 a little bit. So straight from the get-go, right? Gameplay, what's this? Language English, that's fine. Go hot toggle run. No, I think it's just fine. Before we start, like there was a trailer for this game, right? And for a game that said that we are trying to be like a realistic game, I had a couple of problems with it. Like the first problem was like parrying a broad axe with a sword and staying in a clinch. That's like, what the hell are we even doing? That's not only that's realistic, that's plain stupid from both of the actors. And then other things like straight up from the trailer ends with like main heroine doing this like huge overhead overswing jumping attack, which is like straight up suicide if you know anything about swords. So like, I mean, like if you are proclaiming to be a historically accurate game, why are you doing this? Okay, why are you doing this? But yeah, I'm gonna hit the recording. So we are playing 1348 EX VOTO, the game. Okay, a realistic medieval fighting game about lesbian knight, female knight who is on a quest to save her lover. I'm not going to dive into woke politics. I'm not going to dive into its like quarrel with other game that is upcoming that is called Knight's Path. What I'm going to repeat once again is that for a game that is trying to be realistic, I don't buy that you have in the trailer huge overhead swing jumping attacks that is plain suicide in like the word of realistic sword fighting. I don't buy the fact that you are parrying an axe with a sword in like a clinch and you're standing and it's like Hollywood power move. This is not realistic, okay? But yeah. We are going in. So this is a demo. Demo came out today. I presume that the demo is going to be featured in Steam Next Fest. So I'm leaving the tax on. If it doesn't, I don't care. Maybe it will bring more people. Alastas, be extra vigilant today. It is possible that because I'm a VTuber and because I'm playing what I'm playing, a lot of idiots might jump in just to hate on the game and hate on the, you know, just this is going to be Bun Fiesta, okay? We don't tolerate any kind of hate here. We just want to see how they tackled with the swords. So I'm really interested in it. What I did like in the trailer, so I'm not just only shitting on the trailer. What I did like this, I did see clear Zwerchhau. Now the Zwerchhau is this kind of like a false edge strike that you do is one of the Mayer's master cuts. Now, if you don't know who Joachim Meyer is, short history lesson. He was a sword master. He is one of the most valued sword master that of old. He lived, I think it was like beginning of 15th century. No, 16th century. It was like 1500s. And he did a couple of book publishings on fencing, on how like various techniques. And from these techniques, we are taking inspiration to this day. And Zwerchhau is one of the 5 master cuts that he documented. And master cuts are basically very, very effective counter-offensive like strikes that functions both as a parry but also as an attack to your opponent. So let's say somebody is attacking your head with a sword, you do this Zwerchhau, which is like the most memed on move in the whole historical fencing nowadays, you know, in HEMA. The Zwerchhau is like the false edge cut. You are doing it from the above. You are basically covering all of the strikes on your head or on your upper body. You can cover yourself with a Zwerchhau and hit the opponent in the process. It's a very powerful move if executed correctly. It's so powerful that people are just doing nothing in Zwerchhau in some of the tournaments, and it's stupid to watch. But hey, even if Joachim Meyer published these and basically like taught people how to do them in his like period of 16th century, those are all the techniques that his ancestors were slowly figuring out. Because when Meyer was alive, basically a longsword was becoming archaic weapon. Some people were still using them, but, you know, more Renaissance-esque swords were prevalent into using, you know, the early rapiers, all of that. And longsword was becoming more and more obsolete, right? So all of these techniques were actually actively used earlier in the 15th and 14th century, when the longsword was about like the end of the 14th century, and early 15th century was when the longsword was actually weapon to go whenever you needed some sort of weapon. But yeah, what is wrong with people? I don't know. They just love to hate. Right? Probably nothing else going on in their life. So we're gonna play new game. Let's see how this looks. I hope this is good. I'm not going to be hating on the game because it has a female protagonist. I don't care if she's lesbian. I don't care. Like she can be whatever she can. She needs to use a sword well, though. For a game that is supposed to be realistic. Well, my cat almost threw down my camera now. Fatal error. Well, that's not that. Okay. Game crashed. Not a good look, guys. Not a good look. What's this? Dear Villagers is publisher and developer Sedleo. So Sedleo, not a good look, like really. Fatal error when I try to start the game. That's That's kind of realistic from medieval perspective, right? Sometimes you failed even to be alive, you know. Just you were a baby and you died because million of diseases that they couldn't cure back then. So maybe that was by design. You know, actually in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, there is a hardcore mode. And if you start hardcore mode, you first need to roll like a dice to even depict whether you did or did not survived into adulthood, so you could start playing the game. I'm not kidding. Like, if you fail the dice roll in Kingdom Come Deliverance, then the game will start like Henry died because he died at childbirth, or Henry died because when he was a kid, his female crush fall into the river under the ice, so he jumped over her. He found her under the river, but that they drowned together because they weren't able to find a hole in the ice and get above the, you know. So yeah, you die as the game starts. It's just like developers trolling you. But let's go again. Let's go again. Maybe it won't crash this time. If it crashes this time, okay, good.
A fine display. Feat worthy of Lancelot himself, straight from one of your tales.
Why do you insist we come here when all you do is mock?
We are here to distract you from your sorrows.
Okay.
Besides, nightly practice balances your humors, Aeta. Mock play mine.
I practice. I am no knight.
No.
Come on, guys. That
No, you're
cutscene
more
is
than
horrible. Like, I'm not talking about like
I
design of the
still hear my
characters. Like, the
father's
design is
voice
fine. It's
instructing me from the
just
shadow
it
of that
looks
tree.
like
Hinting
garbage,
my grip, my
kind of.
posture. I hear him closely even though he's with my mother.
Good voice acting though.
Town mourns for the loss of their lord.
But the animation are kind of
No
like
mourn for
wonky.
your
You know what
loss.
I mean? Like the hair is glitching, you know, and all that.
Rest your heart. It doesn't help to dwell. You'll need to be strong for the days ahead.
Strong. How can I be? Death has grasped this land and... How can I, or anyone, fight death?
What would your mother have said?
So I think it's like a plague times, right? It's the great black plague is ravaging the lands.
And that I have a duty as my birthright.
And your father?
To raise my sword, and to keep fighting. And to not tell my mother.
So, my noble knight. Arthur. Will you face your end at the hand of your son?
The troubadour does not speak the lines like that, Bianca.
I am not Bianca. I am Mordred, and you are Arthur.
So they are kids now. They're
Right.
playing with Arthurian legend.
You will ruin your vestments.
I said, fight me.
Yeah,
As thou
it's
art.
funny because like whoever wins, you can say that whoever wins now, you can say like you have been kicked by a girl. So it's funny. So we have longsword. Oh my god. Hang on. Is this too loud? I need to probably tone the music down, don't I? Is this better? I like the music. I didn't like the animation much. Did it save? It did. Is it better now? Dude. The music is almost muted. Okay. It's so loud even like this
You'll
setting.
end up in the mud.
Okay, so attack her. Yeah, interesting. Dude, why would you hold longsword like this? You know, a realistic game. So I'm going to judge you with that. This is not how you hold a longsword. You don't hold a longsword in one hand for no reason like this. Okay, if it was like 1.5 sword, then maybe I would understand. This is a longsword. This is straight up longsword. You're supposed to be using it in 2 hands, unless you are doing something with your left hand. Maybe you would be parrying, maybe you would be controlling your opponent. Maybe you would be having a shield. Then sure, have your longsword in one hand. But just like this, there is no reason for this. Like none. So she's using it
Your
as
strikes
a
are repetitive.
more like a one-handed sword. But okay.
If
The
your blows
edge
are
alignment in
parried,
the cuts is
change your
good,
stance.
so it's fine. She's for playing it. She looks like she's about to fall over. I guess we are playing as village idiot. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. And then it's like 10 out of 10 game. Okay. She doesn't know anything, but she's getting into fights. Okay. So hold, 2-handed stance. Okay. This is better. This is better. So, all right. So 2-handed stance. So what do we have? You're
holding back.
What are you doing? She's going for a false edge strike from the below, it would seem. Why would he be slashing like that? Okay, if I hold it, she's gonna do this horrible overhead wind up, which I would not recommend for various reasons. Like first, if you're not careful, you're gonna hit yourself in the head with your crossguard. Then this way you will lose the control of your weapon. And also if you're fighting with a formation, she just impaled the guy behind her. So she is riding solo. Okay, fine, but it's not very knightly if you ask me. But alright.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
The stances itself are not like bad, but I would also prefer if you wouldn't like start within these positions. You know, it would be just better to hold your sword in front of you or maybe above your head in like, I think the Germans call it like Ox position, or the famous Fool's Guard when you have your sword lowered. It's much better than this. This is very exhausting, and unless you are absolutely determined you want to stop your opponent, this is basically what she's doing here. This is like one of the possible attacks from this, but like why? It's too long. Like if I pause it right here, now it's like your hands are very open. Like if Bianca there was trying to fight back, she'd be able to go for the hands and step into the attack. But then again, Ayla is not probably Master Swordsman, right? There is one thing that people often forgetting in these types of games, and that is just because the main character doesn't do everything perfectly doesn't mean that the game is unrealistic, right? It just means that the main character is not good at sword fighting, which was rather common. Like I had Ayla, Aita, what's Aita is she called? I think she's called Aita. So Aita is not like true knight, right? The knight in medieval ages, the knights were a special sort of people. They were sort of like professional soldiers, but they were trained from the very young age to be where they are. They were beginning as like the kind of like a servitor to an older knight, and they were training with weapons from very young age, almost like Spartan warriors. You know, they were training how to use weapons, various weapons, not just swords, but also like the bow and arrow, how to use spears, how to use lances, how to use horses, how to take care of their equipment, how to use armor on themselves, you know, how to use maces, everything. You know, and they were training for years and years. This is why whenever there was like a real knight that was going through this training, and then when you met him on the battlefield and he has his like armor on, he was absolute unit, right? And they were unstoppable unless you invented black powder, basically. Look, I don't do sword fighting like you and Elastis do, but even this looks wrong. Yeah, but as I'm saying, some of her like poses are not like bad to look at.
You're holding back.
But it's not what I would personally like choose. Right. If you look on the duel between me and Elastis, you would see that like we are not using these as like our standard to go basically stance, which you shouldn't. And this kind of stance is like absolutely wrong. Like I'm sorry, but having your own sword outside of your field of vision is all sorts of a bad idea, right? Somebody could be behind you and just disarm you by swift tap on the top of this sword, right? And just because the way of how she's holding it, she would just release it on the ground because she wouldn't be braced for that impact.
You're
just
holding
saying.
back.
I have never seen anybody using this kind of stance. Like, it's very unwieldy. You don't see your weapon. You have your weapon behind you. Why? Why are you pointing your weapon on your right side on the whole length of your blade? Which I don't understand. There's like just moving forward. If there's like a tree or anything, you just gonna get your sword stuck in there. So on hit, perfect attack. What does it mean? Press attack precisely when you hit to cue a perfect attack. Perfect attacks deal more damage.
Perfect time. My turn to attack.
Okay.
Let's see you parry and dodge.
So holds to block. Okay, so she's using it for blocking. Okay. Alt to dodge. Exactly. Did you see this? I dodged to the right as she was attacking, and I got hit into that exposed arm. That's exactly what I was talking about.
I shan't pull my blows.
All right. And the game is not running very good. It's not optimized very well. I'm dropping to like 40 FPS. Let me see what we can drop down in terms of graphical fidelity. So what do we have? View distance high. Let's tone this down. Anti-aliasing, post-processing, shadows. This is basically culprit, so I'm just gonna tone down. Reflection, textures, effects, foliage, shaders, Let's go down with the shaders. Let's see if this improved my frame rate. A little bit.
Enough.
It helped a little bit, okay.
Can't it fight?
Ouch. It reminds me Mafia, actually. Guard break. Attacks fill the defender guard block until it breaks. During a guard break, attacks cannot be blocked. Okay. So...
Bianca, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you?
I have fallen. Become the princess of this tale. Oh, my noble knight errant.
I think your girlfriend is a little bit cuckoo in her head, right? Okay, so press mouse button to help her stand up.
Oh! That's not fair.
The world is not fair.
Okay. It was actually funny.
When I'm gone.
Bianca, life in a convent, it's not the end. Your mother wishes you...
My mother, who has no dowry or prospect, has no other choice than to send me away.
Wait, you already bumped
These
up
holy
anyone?
vestments that
Asked
marry
this?
a soul
What
like
was
my
that
father.
about? Was he just a
I'm glad
spammer
the
or
pestilence
did he
Don't
came
say
to
such
hate?
things. You speak as if you go to thy grave and not a
The what we
nunnery.
don't say. Oh,
It will be safe there,
you
far
mean
from all this
Streambu.
death.
Streambu. I see. It's okay.
Life is hard for peasants. For women, nonetheless.
Bia.
But look at me.
Look at that cross. What the hell?
My path is not that of a princess or postulant, muddied as I am. Will you wait here while I clean and tend to this scratch?
As thou ask.
Such a sunny afternoon. May it ever remind us of these children's games we played together.
I don't know, guys. I wanted to like this game, but the cutscenes are glitching, and yeah, I maybe I'm missing something, you know. But
What's
I don't think
happening?
this sword stance is like
Did
very
Bia make
good,
it back?
especially if they are trying to portray the realistic game. This is not like
I must
fantasy
get to
game.
the
This should be like Hollywood movie. You know, they are not like goblins or orcs. No, this should be like a realistic game. They announced it as a realistic game, as it is. And what is actually happening is like this weird stance that like kind of looks cool, but like it's absolutely useless. Like, are they using this stance in Italy? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm doing Italian rapier, even like Italian longsword, right? On top of like Italian, German are like two main schools that we are basing. We are bases our like sword fighting techniques in our school, which is like a little bit of modern spin on it because our maestro, he's like putting together things that work mostly from like Spanish, Italian, and German stuff, but I don't know. It is supposed to be out in like 2-3 weeks, and it's not optimized yet. Maybe the demo is not optimized. I don't know. That's like another thing. The optimization is bad. This is Unreal Engine. We've played fucking Windrose, which is Unreal Engine, and it has terraforming on top of it. And it looked like smooth butter. I didn't have to like do any setting tweetings, and it was a stable 60 FPS all the times, even on a freaking ship on that wonderful water. And then you have this. Like, what are you doing, guys? I understand like maybe they are a little smaller like development team, and like I know that optimization of the game is like hard to do. But like, yeah, the Mafia old country had similar problem, like poor optimization, but at least cutscenes were good. Cutscenes in here are glitching. Like, why? Why was that cross doing like those wild things? You probably done the cutscenes within the game engine itself. It would be it would be better maybe to pre-render them. So they're like some some things that I dislike gameplay wise, and something that I dislike like swordplay wise, if it makes sense. With that said, I don't like hate the game, but it's not leaving like the best first impressions. Like the demo should be showcasing you why you should be excited for the game. No, not why it sucks. If it like just the way it gets better, you know. Maybe there's like super story and whatever, but it feels wonky. I feel like nauseous from this camera movement. Like, what is going on there? Okay. Well, at least we have a jump button. Okay, I take it. And I do like main character design. Like there's like people are memeing on her on Twitter, like bowl cut, haircut. I mean, this kind of haircut was actually pretty common in medieval Europe. Like it helped, you know, against lices, against everything. Like not on women. That not on women. Oh, that's true. Like women, they usually had like long hair, but if like women would have this kind of, they would like look at her funny. But then again, it's like do whatever you want, right? It's not like they're gonna burn her for heresy because she cut her hair down. No, it's not how it works. And I like her clothing. She looks like she has little bit of armor on her like arm. She doesn't seem to be having any sort of chest plate, any sort of she does have, what's it on her boots? Okay, we don't have crouch button. We need to use space here. Okay, got it. Wait. Okay, we do have jumping button.
No. A raid. We don't stand a chance with so many lost. It is not too late. Do not give up hope.
Okay, so story-wise, there is probably plague going on, like the Black Plague, the OG plague, which like almost wiped Europe several times in medieval ages. So a lot of people died from it in her village or in her like little city.
We are too few. The pestilence.
Yeah, pestilence, and now they are getting raided, which is not good.
They would seek shelter. Bia would seek shelter.
Nice premise of a game. From the context, I would say that her father was probably a knight. Means she is probably coming from like low nobility kind of background, and that's why she can like be a little bit more benevolent, you know. And her father is just probably, he wanted a son, he didn't get a son, so he's like, you know what, just if you want to play with the swords, just be it. And he is treating her a little bit like a son because he always wanted a son, so it's like fine. And they're like, they can be like benevolent to see her just do what you want. That is my assumption.
There is still time. I cannot be too late.
What did I see here? This longsword is beautiful. It's a nice looking longsword. It's earlier period, right? But this is like 1348. Like obviously it is. I prefer myself more like Renaissance-esque longswords, but those were like a little bit of archaic. They were not like used that much at the time. But Sintra blade, no effect. So they are like buffs. Sintra guard. It's kind of rare to see historical swords in game. I mean, depends on the game, right? Depends on the game. If you have a game like this, I mean, Kingdom Come Deliverance, like you had only realistic swords in there. You know, there were no like Guts Berserk or like, I don't know, Super Anime Katana 2000. No, it was just historically accurate swords. It's like, it is rare, but I think Kingdom Come Deliverance did like game industry a huge service because they really delivered on that kind of like medieval feeling, and they show people that it could work. It could work without like Witcher and his spins. It could work without creatures. It could work without like bullshit, because history in itself is interesting at times. Ironically enough, while I do swords in real life, I prefer fantasy elements in my games. I like when you can fight the undead or orcs or whatever, but then that doesn't mean like experiences like this are like, I enjoyed Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2 very much. Like those were like great games. It's just, it's a high mountain to climb, right? Because like Warhorse, they came in, they shit Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 out, then they shit Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 out, and I just have fun trying to top that, right? It's not gonna be easy, and I don't think this game is going to be better. Like, I'm going to say it straight up, like, it's not going to be better than Kingdom Come Deliverance. It can be its own thing. Well, we'll see.
Fear.
Fantasy swords are over the top. I do like realistic swords in fantasy settings. That's kind of my thing. City is looking good. Maybe too much stone in the city. Like, too many stone structures. They probably would have more like wooden and mud huts and less like everything, because stone was expensive, right? But it also depends on the region. Like, expensive, not necessarily like it would be too expensive to like get, but like it's like too much work to get stone. You know, you need to have a quarry, you need to have like people to carry the stone. So like having all of those from stone, I don't know. Maybe they were built different in Italy. But what you can see in like Kingdom Come Deliverance, for example, like even Kutna-Hora, like Gutenberg, there are like some stone structures, but as I was saying when we were playing Windrose, right? Even if you had like some stone elements within a building itself, what they would do is they would build like a first floor from stone, and then they would build on top of it from wood. Like, fully stone structures would be mostly just like castles and fortresses, because those need to like withstand the siege and stuff. I was really rooting for the game, but now it's unfortunate. I mean, we don't know that yet. You know, I just toned down the details and it's running better now. Oh my god. Dude.
Stop! Don't! Murderer! You'll pay for that!
You watch your tongue, boy. I'll hack you out.
Okay. Alright. There was double up. Okay, and then okay, big stab. Yeah, I'm not fun of these stances. And I know again, this stance is not good. This attack is not good either. Like, look how she is holding it. Maybe, and I would be very impressed. That would be actually super good if, as she is progressing, she's actually evolving her swordsmanship, and she realizes that like this stance is no good, and she would be holding her sword differently. And maybe she wouldn't be doing this, but she would be actually doing this this wind up with like her blade pointing up. You know, that would be actually cool. You know, if she as she gets more seasoned, she's getting better, and she's losing these bad habits. Then in that case, it would be like, yeah, the first impressions are bad, but there is a reason for it. But I don't think that is the case. I don't think that is the case. We'll see. Well, we probably won't see because it's just a demo, but that will be actually cool. You know, as I was saying, the fact that your character isn't like master swordsman for the get-go doesn't mean that the game is unrealistic. It just means that your character sucks, and maybe he can learn to be better, or she can learn to be better. Sorry. Also, the way she looks, and he called her a boy. This is like, I think this is like the vibe here, because she's trying to pass as a boy, to be able to like, not to be treated as a woman, because yeah, women in medieval ages, it's not like they were treated bad, it's just they were treated a little bit different from guys. Then again, you're not really question somebody with a sword, because everybody knew at the time that like sword is a deadly weapon, and you don't really want to mess with somebody who has a sword, especially if they are showing signs that they know how to use the sword. Essentially, there is this another thing, like in a lot of medieval manuscripts we have a lot of like pictures and depictions of how to fight with a sword against a sword, maybe with a sword against like a spear. A lot of these things, you never have an instance how to fight with a sword against an unarmed person. And I think that you never have the instance of how to fight with a sword against an unarmed person, because if they do not have anything to defend themselves with, you're just gonna kill them. Like, there was just, if they are trying to fight you without a sword, like with their bare hands, they're just dead because you have a sword. And that was just something that everybody accepts in general. First time watching your stream and I'm enjoying this commentary, educating and entertaining at the same time. Hello, Mr. Toby Ford, welcome to the stream. Thank you, and hopefully we enjoy that. Yeah, I am... Oh.
No, a little lordling. I'll have that fine sword.
Okay, I'm gonna deal with this guy.
If you want this, take it.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I don't know why the follow didn't really... Okay, I don't know how you would be able to parry the flail. That's a little bit stupid, but alright. Okay, yes, let's yoink him. And come here. Overhead swing and he's toast. We used to have I think our alerts must not be working because I didn't hear an alert, so thank you for the follow. Thank you for watching. Hi, I hope you enjoy this. Yeah, I am a little bit torn on this game. Like, people are hating it, but for all the wrong, although it did play. It did. Okay, thank you, Elastis. I didn't. I was so uncaptured in like my yapping that I didn't. I'm so sorry about it, Mr. Toby. But yeah, welcome. As I was saying, I'm a little torn about this game because like people hating on this game for all the wrong reasons. Like I couldn't give a damn what is my main protagonist, like who she likes, if she's a woman, if she's not a woman. What I have problems with are, like, if you are stating that your game is realistic, and then your character is holding sword like this, that is what I have problem with, right? I have a problem with this overhead swing, like straight up. Why you have your sword so far away? It's like so much wrong with it. All of these things. When she puts the sword over her head, behind her head bothers me. You could really get hurt doing that. Well, that's one of those things. Like the swords, this is not a katana, right? We do have cross guards. We do have cross guards for a reason in medieval Europe. Like you would be using cross guards for various forms of defense and various forms of like angulating your attack in a way that you know that your hand is protected and you know you can like manipulate enemy sword with it, etc. But also if you do this, you're not careful, you will hit yourself with your crossguard. And don't ask me how I know. Don't ask me how I know. I know that for about 20 years now. I figured this out 20 years ago by bashing myself in my own forehead with a freaking crossguard because I wasn't careful and I was doing like too stupid of a wind-up attack. The other thing that is wrong with this, if you do this, you can very easily lose your weapon, or at least somebody could just clinch you, you know. If somebody has as much as a leather glove on their hand, they could just tackle her now, grab her sword behind her back, and now she's defenseless before she can even strike. And you cannot do anything with this, right? Another thing that is wrong with this, if you are fighting with your friends and you do this, you might just hit somebody behind you. That's like another thing. Like, we don't do this. And even in like modern kind of... There is like a thing in Europe where we do like reconstructions of historical battles, right? And the biggest like fencing enthusiasts just go into those battles. Like some people from our fencing gym are going quite often. And like people, you cannot do this for the safety reasons of your own comrades in like a not necessarily shield world, but if you're just standing side by side, you don't want to put your sword behind you because you just impaling your own allies, right? Same with this. Like, imagine somebody is standing next to you. He's a friend. You are just poking your friend in the ribs with your sword, or you are blocking them from passing through. Also, you're just running here, and the game ignores this, right? You can see that sword is now going through the pillar. If this was a real life scenario, she would just get her sword stuck in there. I'm not saying like the sword would be cut into the board. No, but it will just, it would just unalign her like sprinting position. Maybe you are running, then you hit your sword within that. Maybe you disarm yourself accidentally because you are carrying it on your side like a dodo. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. But as I was saying, I'm giving benefit of the doubt to the developers. Maybe Aita will actually get better as she's progressing, and that would be cool to see. You know, maybe later in the game she will carry her sword in better positions, and her overhead swing will be better aligned. You know, pointing up and all that. We don't know that.
feet. But it's the only way through to the church.
Okay, so we are going to save the Bianca from the church. I don't know. Like, you can climb over walls and you cannot climb over this. Okay. Where are we even going there? You know, this is kind of bothering me in games, but this is not a shot on EX VOTO. This is like in games in general. Sometimes you're just going through your hometown as your character. You know, your character is going through her hometown, and she should be knowing where to go, but you don't know that.
Move the cart.
Okay, now you can move the cart. Why wasn't I do? How? Oh, okay.
Come on.
But you don't know where to go because you are just a stupid player, right? And in cases like this, game should be more transparent about where to go.
Deep breath.
Okay. Okay, this the engine, well, not engine, but this game in particular is a little bit clunky to do platforming like this. It feels like Aita feels kind of like a heavy to control, if it makes sense, right? Down here, probably, yeah.
The bell is fallen silent. Please, I beg thee, do not let it be too late.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have two guys. Okay. Now this thing is nasty, like the flail. It's interesting that they're using it here because I was under the impression that that was like mainly like Hussite weapon. But I don't know, maybe they were using it at a time in Italy, I have no idea. But like the flail, which is like this huge little thing with spikes in it on a chain attached to like basically a huge quarterstaff. So that is a thing that were like prevalent in Hussite wars. And the reason for this is that during Hussite wars, the Hussites were composed mostly from peasants. And peasants, they didn't have practice in sword fighting. But they did have practice about beating the grass into what's it called, the dry grass. Oh, I don't know the word in English, but they were like beating various wheat and beating various grass into dry grass with it, and they had a lot of practice with beating things. So then they just put the spikes on it and started beating crusaders with it. Parrying that with a sword, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Like, obviously in this game you can parry everything, it would seem. Maybe there will be like special attacks that you cannot parry, which is like video game mechanic. But again, if the game is proclaiming to be realistic, I don't know about that. You wouldn't be parrying axes and flails the same way you parry normal swords, because it just doesn't work like this, right? But okay. Alright. I don't know if there's like a stamina. And I love that the other guy is politely waiting in the background to like kill his friend. This is like another thing. Like, it's another trope in video games where they're basically waiting in line. What would happen in real life would be probably they would try to flank me, which I do not have to deal with it in here. Maybe it's like just like entry level. It's just like fine, but like if you try this shit in Kingdom Come Deliverance, for example, they are not waiting politely in line. They will stab you in the back. They will stab you in the flank. Like you need to be wary of positioning. I'm actually preparing a video about like fencing in video games and what fencing skills from real life translates into video games and what do not, and in various types of video games what you can use and what you cannot use. So yeah, this is like very good for me, because if they are just taking turns, it's like fine, I'm just fighting one-on-one. But it's super bad for like game developer. Just let me, like, if I play this stupid, let me die for it. Let the enemies flank me. Let me his buddy like run his axe into my back. You know, whatever. That would be better. Like it would be incredibly much more difficult to play. But I would actually be more happy even if it was more difficult. You know what I mean. Like, again, game is. This is not me. It's developers said that they are aiming for realistic settings. In realistic settings, if two guys are trying to stab you to death, two guys will not be waiting their turn. He will not let his friend die unless, I don't know, maybe he owed him money or something, so just he didn't want to pay up. But other than that, you know, a little bit, like, no. But okay. Okay, let's just do these barbaric swings. All right. So this false edge hit, is it false edge hit even? Yeah, it looks like it is, but maybe it isn't. From like the pictures, I thought that it's like a classical Zwerchhau, but it isn't. I don't think she's using any kind of like master cuts, like, ouch. That was on me. Oh, he's actually knocking me. Okay. I think he's dead. See, that's exactly like what I would do if I would like see this, this like swing at me with an X from like a right direction. I would just respond with a Zwerchhau from the right too, blocking the X and hitting him in the head. That would be proper. That would be basically proper kind of reaction to this. Even like against the X, that would work as well, right? A little bit more risky than against the sword, but certainly less risky than whatever the Aita is here doing, right? Again, see how it clips through the well, without a problem. You shouldn't be doing this with your blade. A lot of issues, but ultimately, if we treat it like some sort of like Hollywood movie, which is like more about the story and about like Aita's doing whatever she has to do to save like Bianca, who is her lover, fine, sure, okay. Why not? You know, just because, for example, Zorro, the legend, the movie, wasn't super realistic in terms of fencing, I really enjoyed the movie, even if it was basically Hollywood nonsense with Antonio Banderas playing Zorro, etc. I did enjoy the movie. I did enjoy 13 Warrior, which is another movie with swords and Antonio Banderas. I think I see the pattern here, but regardless, the 13th Warrior, they call it Vikings in my country, like way before the Vikings, the Netflix show was a thing. So the 13th Warrior was about that Arabian, like Arabian warrior getting mingled with Viking warriors, and they were sent to save Viking village against these like tribalistic bear people. It wasn't very historically accurate, but it was fun. But none of these movies claim they were historically accurate, so they maybe should have just said it like this is like a tale about like valiant knight, and not putting like emphasis on realism here. You know what? Let me just read you what this game on its store page is actually saying. So, journey through a tumultuous medieval Italy as Aita, a young knight-errant who sets off on a brutal quest to find and save her closest one. So, they're saying closest one, you know. People on Twitter memeing it like they're like lovers, you know, lesbian, blah, blah, blah. But so far we just saw that they're friends, right? It might be just they're friends. You know, maybe there is more, I don't know, but doesn't state anywhere in the description, so I don't care about it. EX VOTO is a cinematic action adventure game inspired by chivalric tales. Brave the harsh okay, so nothing about reality. Oh, sorry, that was a trailer. So nothing about reality in here. But if we dive deeper and we say like about this game, brave the harsh realities of the Italian late medieval period through the eyes of a courageous noble whose life is about to change fundamentally. So this is like harsh realities of the Italian late medieval period. Yeah. They should have go with like, I don't know, inspired by medieval Italy rather. That would be maybe better, because if you state something about realism, then you should do the sword fighting part realistic, right?
Killed everyone. Bianca's not among the dead.
Okay, I don't know why his face is so red though. What were they doing to him? It looks like a million tiny cuts in this one. They have a lot of same models, like reusing models, which is like fine. It's just for cinematic purposes. But You know, this is another trope that is like bothering me within video games. And it's like whenever in some sort of video game, especially if it's like video game using assets, excuse the wrong shadows. I had to tone the shadows down. They look a little bit pixelated, but that's fine. But as I was saying, the assets that they are using, it's usually like one asset for a corpse, and then the corpse looks like, I don't know, like a devil or a zombie or someone who has been horrendously tortured, and I don't know why. And then they're using this asset, and it's like, yeah, we are accepting that this is depicting like the passive corpse. It's just part of an environment of the game, on the one hand. But on the other hand, it's like, why? Why are we doing it like this? Why he looks like he has been like his head was cooked or something. I don't know how to describe this. Like, I understand that like horrible things were happening, but I don't know. They would probably look a little less mutilated, even if they were like killed on the spot.
I must keep searching.
Okay, so let's try this way first. Another burned house. Okay, this is kind of making me nervous. The sword next to him looked interesting. Which one? Hang on. I'm gonna recheck. Which sword? There is a sword in this? You mean this? It's not a sword, it's like chandelier or something. It's like, I'm sorry, Alastis, that's not a sword. You should recognize a sword. I mean, you've been training with swords almost 3 years now. Wait, what's this? Okay, we just have a little bit of... Can I jump down? Maybe? No. It's an invisible wall, which is probably for the better. So there's like two ways how you can do Unreal Engine game, right? The one way is that your character has like... It's kind of being controlled right, and you feel like you have freedom to run anywhere you want to, which is like Conan Exiles on Windows, that kind of thing. Warframe, for example, too. And then you have like this which is more like a walking simulator, you know, Mafia Old Country or this one. I prefer the first thing. I prefer like movement is really fluid, rather than cinematic clunkiness, if it makes sense. Okay, space to crawl through. Oh, who's this?
Too late.
Sorry. Again, what's wrong with her face? That's... I don't understand. Like, the game warned us that there is going to be gore, but I just don't know why they're overdoing it. Like, realistically, this wouldn't happen during the raid. Maybe like slash or stab through the body, but...
Any survivors will be in there.
Okay, but there is a guy. There is a guy in the way. And he's going at me with a dagger. Like, are we serious? This is as I was saying before. Like, if maybe there was something like how to fight with a dagger against a sword. Maybe some manuscripts like that are, but it's like your last resort. Like, if you see somebody with a long sword and you just have a dagger, and that somebody with a sword, they look like they know what you're doing, you should probably run. You shouldn't like go at them. This guy didn't have a chance because I had such a range advantage that you just don't... There is no way you can win this. Like, the skill difference between the two fighters would have been... It would have to be such a great skill difference for the guy with the dagger to even have a chance, you know. As I was saying, that like there are no manuscripts, for example, for how to fight unarmed person. Like, if they don't have any weapon, they're dead. That was like general consensus in medieval times. Like, you do not go with your fist fighting against person with a sword. You just don't, because you die, and everybody knew that, right? There is a... This is us. I'm pretty sure this is painting of us. So yeah, I don't know what they were using as as a tools to draw on these, but yeah, this is us. I think Bianca is obsessed with Arthurian legend because that's what she was like keep repeating, you know, Sir Arthur and whatnot. And she said she's Mordred. Mordred was actually Arthur's son in the legend. In the legend, he was the son of Morgana and Arthur, right? And he tried to take like Camelot and everything from his father, and this is ultimately the cheese. Thank you. We do have the cheese. So you are collecting the provision. Bread, cheese, doesn't matter what it is, and then I can press Q to heal. Okay, I like this system. See, just a little bit of healing. Good, good. I like these kind of systems. Like you are grappling various food, and it just charges up your healing potion, which is not potion, but they did have to put in some healing. Grab the shield, Aita. I'm sure it would be a good idea. I promise you, if you grab this shield, we're gonna be unstoppable now. She doesn't want a shield. She doesn't want to look. She doesn't want to use longsword like a longsword, but she also doesn't want to use shield. So I don't know. There is something wrong with her. I wonder where she was even taught to fight, though. Like, she obviously knows something. At least some of these stances do make sense. She knows how to parry. Also this, by the way. If there is a red cross, I mean not a red cross, if there is like a white cross, it means do not go there, plague victims are in there. And they were actually doing this. Whenever there was a plague, and let's say some sort of family or inhabitants of a house, they were diagnosed with plague, they basically quarantined them inside and painted a cross over the doors like this, and then they just left them there, and they either got better or died. It's as much as it sucked, that was the only way they knew back in the day how to isolate the plague people to not spread plague any further. But then you would have rats spreading the plague anyway, so it was kind of, you know, pointless. Essentially what the plague came to was that a lot of people had natural immunity to plague. Well, not a lot of people, but let's say about 90% of the populace one time, I think, died in Europe to plague. Maybe my numbers are not, maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but a lot of people, you know, we almost went extinct in Europe at some time due to plague. But some people just were immune to the plague because their immune system were just able to react to it. Okay. By the way, do we hear the echo when they talk? Sometimes, but I think that's by design because all of these stone structures, right? So it's like echoing from the stone. I think that's the intent there. Okay, let's go down. What's this?
This was the first household that the pestilence visited. Death took the troubadour, his wife, and child.
Use paper to unlock new skills. Collect paper and spend it in skills menu. Why paper? Okay, we have 2 papers now. These paintings I like. Not so sure about the elephant, but what the hell is this? It's like a tiger, cat, and lion. Let's go with lion. Okay, we're gonna take a short break.
still standing. That's good.
Today.
This is what happens when I start talking.
The fridge. Or the freezer.
Fuck.
Oh my god. And also I can hear whispering Lenin is alive, by the way. That's something else.
I think, yeah, I know what this guy is. He's always drunk when he's fighting. He's fighting with a long sword, and he has like some knowledge of fencing. He's mostly like drunken master, huh? We gotta fight with the brooms. Of course. Fucking hell. This game is actually hilarious. I lost. I got beaten by a monk, by a drunk monk with a broom.
This is my second concerto, the church edition. Guys, I will be here on the next mass. Come with your friends. I will have exactly the same repertoire as today. I'm good at this. Okay. Okay, I think we should be back. Everybody's back? Yeah, I hope so. All right. So, I figured out a way how to upgrade our little fighter. So, Audatia, I don't know what that means. It's probably like some sort of Italian for something. This is basically improving my strike side, but I would need 15 paper for this. Or I can go in here. This is Prudentia, and this should be like health upgrade, guard upgrade, or food upgrade. So I presume that guard upgrade means that my guard is going to be a little less prone to be broken. I think my guard was broken one time. Food upgrade will mean more food that I can carry with me, and health upgrade more hearts, I guess. So let's just do these two for now. And confirm this. Yeah, how? Can I confirm, please? Oh, it's already confirmed. Okay, never mind. Can I? No, I cannot reset my skills. Well, I hope I didn't make a mistake, but I don't think I did. What's this? Can I? Oh, there's like an E. What can you do with an E? We can push it, I think. Oh, can we push it? No. Ada, please. I'm pressing E. I'm pressing E like crazy, but. Oh, now we can push it. Okay. I'm going back up. Right. Ouch. This way? So this is the way we went the first time. This is where the troubadour was. Wasn't it? Yeah, I think so, but... A little lost, Again, like... Aita should know this place. Aita should tell me where to go now. Let's try this. Oh. You know what? I actually like this because this is the second time I'm going through this alleyway, right? And I saw this, I was like, god damn it, you know, my video game brain was just, there is a tiny thing in the way, I cannot proceed. But now, actually, she can jump over it. So, you know, props to the developers. At least here it works.
I'll not let you harm another soul.
Alright, okay, he's just relentless. Ow. Okay. He was relentless, now he's dead. This worked before against this guy. Okay, he does... Disrespecting the distances. This is actually a huge gripe that I have with this game. Okay, so let's break this down. We just saw that this guy was basically on outside of the distance. Right? The distancing in sword fight is one of the most crucial, if not the most crucial thing that you need to do perfectly. Basically, you need to be aware when you are in the safe distance from your opponent, when you are in distance where they can hit you or you can hit them, and when you are too close, right? This changes if there is a difference between weapons. Now, obviously, a long sword is a little bit longer than dagger, isn't it? So the distancing is in my favor. Problem with this is that when this guy decides to attack me, the basically game mechanic teleports him to me, and he hits me. So, game-wise, I have two options, block or dodge, right? Instead of abusing my distance, which is what I would do in real life, and just kill him with that huge overswing attack, right? So, yeah, it's like a paradox that my wind-up attack and overhead swing is slower than him shortening the distance and stabbing me with a dagger. Even if it's if like this longsword, they were not very heavy. Like the average longsword would weigh about 2 kilograms, which is like 3.8 pounds, circa. Let's say. So depending on which system you are using, right? They are not very heavy. Swords are nimble weapons. They're light. They're very light. They're very light weapons, and you will always swing faster than doing your steps with a swing forwards with a dagger. So I didn't like that this guy was able to shorten the distance and stab me at the same time as I was just swinging my sword, right? This is not, again, this is something that would not happen in like a real fight. With a dagger, yes, you need to shorten the distance with a dagger, but you're not shortening the distance if you see that your opponent is wound up, right? You wait for him to change the guard, stop being wound up, or or do his attack, deflect it somehow, and try to shorten the distance and work with your dagger on a distance that is actually giving you advantage. Because, again, distancing works other way as well. If you have a dagger and the other guy has a sword, or I don't know, pike or whatever, some sort of long weapon, then if you close the distance to a point where you can stab with the dagger, the distance is actually going against them in terms of favor. Because if you are this close to them, they cannot effectively use the swords, and they are like, let's say there are a couple of techniques that you can still use with a sword. You can do like half swording. You can try to use your pommel or a cross guard as like punching them in the face. You can try these sort of things. But generally speaking, if you are too close for a sword strike, then you are in an advantage with a dagger nowadays, right? But you just wouldn't get into that position by teleporting against your opponent and counting on the fact that they miss their swing. Or did you interrupt their swing in a video game fashion as this guy did? But I digress. Just not a fan of this. Like, if I have a longsword and they have a dagger, just let me have an advantage. But same way, if there is two opponents and one has a dagger, let the guy with the dagger just sneak behind me and try to backstab me, while the one with the flail is occupying my main field of vision. That would be cool too. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh to this game, but then again, this is something I am a little bit educated about. So they claim to be realistic. I'm judging them how they are or not realistic, right?
Anyone inside? Is Bianca with you?
Etta? Oh, thank the Lord. We heard the bells. No, Bianca's not with us.
I must find her. Keep safe. Keep the door barred.
Okay. But okay, let's try go up this hill. I like the vault. I like that she can just jump over things. Does she have? Okay, she does have this interesting choice that she has just one arm, and his left arm armored, and nothing else. It's maybe like, as I said, she's like from a
I cannot lose you two.
She's from the low nobility, right? So they probably don't have like the full plate. It's still better to just arm with what you have. Just protect at least something.
The gate.
There is a double sound, you think? Interesting. Okay, it should be fixed now. Is it better now? She needs to talk for you to hear. Okay.
What's this then? A knight? Whose blood is on you?
She doesn't look like a knight. Just because she has like one armored hand doesn't make her a knight.
Sword shall speak for me.
Ow. Okay, that's one down. How about you? He sounded like... Look at how... They just... They're just waiting their turns. It's so silly. Really. See, he doesn't do... He isn't doing anything. I'm probably going to die to this dagger guy though. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Wait, he's still alive. Okay. I had high hopes for you. It looked like you actually going to help him, but turns out you didn't. So what now? Okay. Is that still double sound?
Bianca, where have they taken you? God, hear my vow.
I think you do a great job doing playtesting. Have you ever looked into doing that for developers?
Taught me honor and respect.
That's not how it
Upon me
works.
now.
Not anymore, anyway.
Let my sword strike true. Mother, you have given me the courage to be myself. Guide my steps on this
Wait, are
forlorn
these... I
journey.
wasn't paying attention. Are these her parents? Did she find?
Those that I have failed today, may I one day be worthy of your forgiveness. Bianca, you are all that is left to me.
I know, she just found the emblem. Okay.
I shall save you.
If the demo ends right here, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I vow.
I feel like demo will end here, but I'm going to be disappointed if it will. It's too short. Which like the last demo we played, Alistair and me, we played Windrose. Beat the okay. It's not good. It's not good. Where to start with this? Let's see, maybe there will be at least a trailer or something. No? No. So, the first things, we will talk about like the quality assurance like as a job a little bit later, Pickle. For now, couple of things. First, demo is too short, like straight up. I understand that demo is just a demo. You should just try the game for yourself, but would I be convinced by this to buy the game? Probably not, because it is too short. I would need a little bit more. Why I would need a little bit more? Demo that is short like this, to me, this is a message that the game is also going to be very short, right? And one of the game Hello, Crazy. How are you doing? One of the games that I didn't like for its length, even though everything else was pretty much fine, was Mafia: The Old Country. Like the game took me 13 hours to beat. That's Windrow's demo took me 9 hours to beat. So like the demo for Windrow's was almost as long as Mafia: The Old Country. I have a feeling that this game is going to be on the shorter shorter end as well. It will be like, you know, 13, 14, 15 hours tops, which is like, for a story game, it's not that bad, but it is kind of not enough, to be honest, like, frankly speaking. Second thing, even in this short demo, they showcased lack of optimization, especially in that initial scene. Like the city was optimized better, I would say, maybe because I toned down some of the quality settings in the menu, etc. But I think especially whenever we would be in this game, like in the forest or in some sort of open area, this game will run significantly worse. So they do need to optimize this, and I don't think they can optimize this in like 3 weeks. That's like not realistic, right? Depends on the price. That's true. That's true. Like if this game is like $30, then like maybe, sure, but they better not charge us for like $60 or something like that. We were nitpicking sword fighting a lot, so I'm not going to be talking too much about it. Like, it's not like the worst, but it's also, I have played a lot of games that were doing realistic swords better. Like Hal Sword exists, Hellish Course exists, even freaking Kingdom Come Deliverance. And I made like 25-minute longs, like, or 20-minute long like video about what I dislike in Kingdom Come Deliverance combat. And there's like a lot of issues with it, but it still feels more realistic than this. Like, at least from animations, and like you can do the fact that enemies are not waiting their turns, all of that, it's like, yeah, right? So yeah, EX VOTO, not the best first impression, but also I can't say I hate this game. Like that's not the case. Like, I can feel that this game, there is like not going to be any like open world, that is going to be very linear game, that you will be just following the story, and that's fine, because that means that not every game needs to be open world. Not every game needs to be like, you know, checkbox, do like million things on a minimap, you know, explore stuff. No, just let me just go through the game and tell me the story you want me to hear. That's fine. I'm just feeling that, I don't know. My thoughts is they should give at least a couple of more months in the oven. It's not ready to be released. Unless the final version is significantly better than the demo version, which usually is not the case, but sometimes it might happen. Sometimes the demo version is made from an old version, you know, from something that they had ready, and they had like packed it up for the release when they wanted to release a demo, and meanwhile they're working on like a live version, which is like fine. But then again, why would you release a demo that is inferior to what you are trying to showcase? Like, demo should be very, very polished version, like the best you can showcase to players. So, my thoughts: poorly optimized, cutscenes glitching, and not very good looking. And demo is too short. The game is like slightly above average, I would say. It's okay. The city section was significantly better than that beginning section with Bianca that was like spiking my FPS a lot, and it was probably due to all of the like clutter in the nature, and it's so long and so forth. I absolutely like the menu design. Like, this little wooden knight is absolutely amazing. I think the story could be interesting, but then again, it's one of these games where you play it once, it's probably going to be it. You're probably never going to play through it again, right? Meanwhile, even games like Mafia Old Country, games like Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? All of these games, they have like replayability, right? Especially if it's like huge open world RPG. Like, as I said, not every game needs to be open world RPG, but then again, if it is, then there is a huge there's a huge like space to replay the game over and over again, because you can try different roads. You can try like role-playing as different characters. Sometimes you can be like noble Henry, other times you can be like absolute like thieving bastard Henry, other times you can be just Henry who is drunk alcoholic all the time, you know, just play the way you want to, you know, explore the game and interact with the world from various times. If the game is linear, it's usually just one and done, right? And maybe you can play it again in like a couple of years when you forget a lot about the story, but it's never going to be that kind of replayability, which is like, it's a little bit unfortunate. But if I look at Mafia Old Country, for example, I played through this game once, right? I was interested in the story. And yes, they did add like that free ride mode that I could be playing, but I'm not really interested in that, because the Mafia games are story mostly for me, right? If I look instead of at something like Grand Theft Auto 5, that there's always Grand Theft Auto Online that I can just play whenever I want and do just stupid stuff within the city with my friends, right? Not that I will be playing GTA Online too much now, but... Excuse me? Oh, never mind. I just something just spooked my cat, and it was just neighbors with their drills. You know, the cat got spooked, and I got spooked, and everybody got spooked. It was actually kind of funny. Yeah, but like, yeah, not the best first impressions, but I'm not going to be like bashing on the game, because I have seen games that have been significantly worse. So this is okay. And if you want nice little story game about a female knight in the year of 1348 trying to find her way throughout the plague-ridden Italy, trying to save somebody who is very significant to her, sure, go for it. I think depends on the price. I would assume I would recommend to just wait for the discount, because you know, the Steam and the discounts, and then grab it on the discount and have a little fun with it. I also think that while I have been like bashing on the sword fighting techniques a lot, it is something that average person that isn't really like well versed in like sword fighting and stuff, they won't notice these things, right? For the average gamer, the sword fighting in this is, I think, okay. From like a gamer perspective, if I look away from like all of those quirks that I deemed unrealistic in the combat itself, I would say that from like the perspective of an average gamer, the combat feels a little bit light, a little bit like they are poking each other with the sticks rather than real weapons, right? As those weapons are a little bit like, maybe it is like sound design issue or something like that, but it felt like very lightweighted. Not very like you're feeling like you are in the action. Like in Kingdom Come Deliverance, for example, if you have a mace and you just bonk a guy over the head, and the guy has, I don't know, the metal helmet, and he just, there's like this satisfying swing. And if he doesn't have a helmet, and you can see how it like cracks into the skull, and like how it sounds horrifying, but it's also awesome that it's there. In this one, it feels like, I don't know, cutlery in the kitchen just clanging with each other. It was a little bit. The fight should be a little bit more impactful, if it makes sense. But that's like from the gaming perspective, right? It's just, let's just think Devil May Cry. Like if just Dante is slashing the enemies, you can like hear and feel the impact. Like it's a little bit slower, a little bit heavier, in a way, but it's just to signify the impact of the sword. This one felt like too light, I think, for like from like a design points perspective. And yeah, the realism of it, we went through it. I'd say, despite all of the things that I said, like, you know, the sword stances, the huge overswing, all of these things, it is still more realistic than your average like fantasy game, right? It's like, if you look at Skyrim, for example, where like Dragonborn is running around and just slashing left and right, no substance to the sword fighting rather than just, you know, translating stats into damage. This at least character has some sort of form, even if some sort of like guard stances are weird, and some sort of like swings maybe like a little bit too broad for my tastes. But it's at least trying to be somewhat realistic, so I give them pass on that. The city itself, as I said, too many stone houses, but then again, I don't know what kind of village it was. Maybe it was like a castle. Maybe they were like very nearby, so the stone was like cheaper to obtain. I don't know that. It looked medieval enough to have that illusion of nice medieval world. But yeah, this has been 1348 ex voto. I hope you enjoyed the demo, as short as it was, and yeah, I don't exactly know what the plan is now. How long have we been streaming? 1 hour and a half. So give or take, with like my intro, with our break, I would say the demo was about 1 hour long, 1 hour 15 maybe if we are generous. Could have been better, could have been worse. Less because I talked a lot. Yeah, that's true. I talked a lot. Yeah, so about like an hour. Let's say an hour on average. Let's say. I've seen a photo of Venice at that time, and it seems they had a lot of stone buildings. I mean, maybe it's just the Bohemia thing, you know, just in like a Czechia that we didn't have too many. Like it depends. It depends. It depends where you are and who is building it. Like if that city was built by some sort of noble who had like money to build a lot of stone houses for his subjects, then sure. It's just it varies, right? I just wanted to specify that the stone buildings were not like something common. It was only on the more rich part of countries, or if you had a good access to like some sort of stone quarry, that there were a lot of stones that you could use, because stone was a commodity itself. Like if you wanted to build a castle, you needed a lot of stone. So let's say you're some sort of like peasant somewhere, like, and you have a choice. You can like sell stone to a lord that is building castles somewhere and get good money out of it, or you could, or a monastery or a church or things like this, or you could just build your own house, but then nobody would pay you for building your own house, right? So it would be more beneficial to just build your own house out of wood and sell the stone to the lords or to the nobility to get yourself some good money for everything you would need, right? For food and to provide for your family and all that stuff. Right. So this was just the ad hoc stream. I saw that the demo is out. I wanted to give it a go. I think we're gonna end the stream here, and I am going to be back in the evening to think about like between 8 and 9 Central European time. I don't know what we're going to be playing yet. Probably Abiotic Factor with Alastis again, or maybe something else. Depends. I'm gonna talk to Alastis and see what we can do. You would? Okay, well, the Abiotic Factor is this. That game is awesome, by the way. That is like totally not realistic if we're talking about like melee combat, but nobody cares because it's Abiotic Factor, right? You missed the game already. You're too scared to play alone. Ah, okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really wanted to give this game a try, and we have a couple of viewers, so I'm going to carry you over to somebody. Let's rate somebody. Let's see who is actually. There is somebody actually talking like Steam discussion about 1348 ex voto lesbian night game part 59. Shall we go there? It's interesting. Interesting. So nobody is playing this, dude. I think this game. I don't know. I don't know about this game. Same category? There is literally nobody else. Just one VTuber talking about the controversy. I'm gonna check who am I following, yeah? Probably wouldn't go that on the 30. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so let's go to our boy D-Dog, who's playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7. He's probably shooting zombies again, which is like fine. Yeah, see you there. Guys, thank you for watching. I think we will do like a slightly edited version of EX VOTO on my channel later, just to showcase the demo and all of my yapping about historical fencing and what I think about it and all that. But yeah, thank you for being here and see you later tonight. Bye.